Teejay Sidhu, thank you so much for joining me on E-Times. I know you're back from US just a couple of days back, and I'm sorry I'm
Yeah.
bothering your reaction on Lock Up and Karanvir Bohra. Your husband, who participated in it, is extremely important, and this is we are sitting across each other today. Thank you once again for joining.
I think that in the beginning of the show, I loved the content. I loved what the contestants were doing because they were getting into discussions and talks, and I would be stuck 24/7 watching lives, which I would not do for a TV show. I was just glued to it. But later, I think that contestants started getting a little rough and tough, and
बट यार ये जाते तो कंटेस्टेंट्स बड़े हंसी खुशी से हैं बहुत हाँ वो वाओ दिस इज अ ग्रेट ऑफर एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा एंड बाद में कंप्लेन करना क्या ये वाजिब है
the concept of the show is good. I think a show like this would work.
I think being away from home also what you are probably
Yeah, absolutely. I think starts making contestants a little frazzled, a little tired, a little upset. So, but then that's the whole point of the show, isn't it? To see how you can survive, who can survive the longest in this kind of pressure cooker atmosphere,
the test of times.
isn't it? It is. That's why this show is not for everybody. I don't know if I could ever do something like this.
Okay. We'll see that. You never know. Because people who have said that I won't have gone in reality shows like these.
Yeah, people have. But the thing is, people do these shows because the money is good. So it does. It's a good project.
Okay, tell me, let's come to Karanvir Bohra, your husband per se. The
Yeah.
first thing I want to ask you is, he came out and blamed Prince. I would say, he said rather, okay, let's not use the word blame. He said that Prince
Yeah, he didn't blame.
is a chachi.
I think that he was just upset that because Prince is he's senior and he's so respected, and Prince has a presence. Agar Prince kuch bole, then people have to listen to him. He has a commanding aura, and I think what KV was saying was that he should not. He didn't like that he sided with Zeeshan. Agar provoke bhi ho gaya, ye show provoking ka platform hai. And Kangana said the exact same thing. She said this show is about provoking. So banda aisa nahi bol sakta ki that I was provoked by Azma, so I had to get physical. You have to see how much can you get provoked and still tolerate and still stay within your limits. That's what. So I think that's what KV was disappointed that Prince should not take the side of Zeeshan in that incident.
So has Prince been a friend before? Prince Yuvika?
Yeah, he has been and he still is. See, what happens in reality shows doesn't change relationships or equations outside. What you do on TV, whether you're an actor, somebody might not like the role that you're doing, but that doesn't mean you're that kind of person outside the house. You might take a decision inside a reality show. That doesn't define who you are as a human being, So outside the house, everything is okay. We went to the Lock Up party and everybody talked about the show and people had a good laugh about so many things. I think people watching the show don't realize that jo ghar ke andar hota hai, ghar ke andar hi chhod dete sab. And then fans often feel betrayed because they feel like, we supported this person and they trolled this one and that one. In the end, everybody becomes friends. So it's hard to digest for people outside. But that is actually the truth because we are all in the same industry and we are all friends. And we are going to do one show. We are going to do more shows where we might not agree with, decisions that we take. But that is nothing to do on a human being level or a friend level. And I even told Prince, when we were at the Lock-Up party, I said, Tum KV ko bahut tang kiya, and he laughed. He said, I was a troublemaker, which is what his job was. He was supposed to do that. Like, he was supposed to make people argue, get people worked up, make them play individual games. And he even told, like, that whole, whatever, he was saying that you guys don't do these fake love angles, vagara, ye khatam karo, because log bahar bhi baithe, you have significant others, wo dekhte hain, acha nahi lagta, which I thought was a very sensible thing for him to say. Don't play these kinds of angles because they're hurtful to other people outside.
But Munawar to But Munawar turned the tables by bringing his girlfriend to the party.
Well, he has a life outside, so why would he not bring her? And I think in a way, I think that there was fans were hoping that they would be together, but then that's up to Munawar to explain what was going outside, what was going on inside. We don't know his full equation. We don't know his thoughts, his feelings. So he brought her to the party. She's somebody very important to him.
I wouldn't be
So,
surprised.
and if he didn't, people would say, yeah, dekha. You see, he would get in trouble either which way. If he didn't, they'd say, dekha, iski girlfriend hai, girlfriend ko chupa ke rakha hai. If he loved her, why didn't he bring her? And if he brings her, he gets trolled. If he doesn't bring her, he gets trolled. So I think wo to, Munawar ki personal life hai.
I wouldn't be surprised still if Anjali is miffed, but that's a different story which only she can tell us. But till then, I would just point out here that I don't totally agree with you that relationships and friendships don't get broken in such shows, because we have seen, relationships break, relationships mend
Oh,
also.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But in this case, they didn't.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right in that sense. I've seen in reality shows people go in and they end up never speaking to each other again. So that is also there, because I don't feel people should do things just for the sake of content.
Yeah.
Don't go in there and do silly things that affect you when you come outside, because this is just a show and the show ends and you have to face people in your industry after you come out. So don't do stupidity also.
What about Zeeshan? Did Karanvir and Zeeshan also patch up and hug each other at the party? Because Zeeshan and Karanvir had a big physical fight in the.
Yeah, Zeeshan had just left when he had just entered. So there was no, I say Zeeshan is not somebody we know anyway. He needed to have been a little more careful to go further in the game. This game is a test. It tests you that how can you become a better person, keep yourself in check. And I think he just needed to keep that aggression in control, and he could have gone longer in the game. I think so.
हम लोग एंटर हो रहे थे और वो जा रहा था is the oldest excuse I've heard, TJ. I think, is that a diplomatic
It wasn't.
mistake? Is that a
Not at
diplomatic
all. No,
way of
because
saying?
no, not at all. Because we were at, I don't know if we were supposed to mention other publications, but other publications had an awards function at a 5-star. KV and I had gone there first. I'd received a mom for social media super mom, and KV had received an award for most loved reality icon. So we did actually come late to the party. That's why if you see any of all the coverage online anywhere, me and KV are hardly in the pictures because we came so late. We came towards the end. There was some people were still there. Some had already left. A lot of the photographers and stuff, they had also left. That was the thing. He was just walking and we just entered. And honestly, that's the truth. I don't need to sugarcoat or whatever. You know me. If I need to, I can write open letters. I can easily say, yeah, I saw this guy and I didn't like it, or they had a confrontation or whatever it was. I would say it.
The tweet which you did, don't understand what the troublemaker is doing in the top 5. Obviously, you were referring to Prince. Yeah.
Of course I was. Troublemaker G is the name that he was called in the show. I felt that he should have left a little earlier and left that one space for another contestant. Because he knew he's going out, and then if the makers knew that he's not going to be there, like in final, then I didn't know. I was like, okay, what? Because then I was getting a little confused. I was like, is he supposed to be a contestant or is he not? Because he's in the top 6. So why is he in top 6 if he's not actually a contestant? So that's what I wasn't sure, because then I thought, okay, maybe does he have a chance to win? Because then for sure, of course he'll win, because he's the best player, hands down.
Was Yuvika at the party?
Yuvika, yes, she was.
And she was fine, because she had also spoken. She had also spoken about Karanvir, in fact, to E-Times, in fact, to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That time she was upset when Karanvir said Prince is a chachi. So
I think, he said it because he's just talking talking about and KV was gone out of the show, and then again discussing KV, which I guess in a way it's good also, because every single episode people were discussing KV, and on his bio, and jab finale ho rahi thi on the finale evening, he had even told everybody, he goes, I'm so grateful that you guys kept me alive in the show, that even after I was gone out every day I was discussed. So it's a little, somebody's already leaving the show, he's already eliminated, he's out, and then people are sitting and laughing and thinking it's funny. I don't think, even forget reality show, in real life, it's not nice to celebrate somebody's defeat. It's just not a cool thing to do. You don't laugh that somebody is hurt or they're upset. Would you do that to your own family? Agar kisi ke saath kuch koi hurt ho gaya, then you wouldn't laugh about it and discuss and say ha whatever. That's to me, I would agree with them. Say that's not a cool thing to do. That's not, because
who are you exactly pointing to? Who was celebrating Karanvir's exit?
Well, everybody except for Payal and Azma. Everybody. Anjali was, Munawar was, Prince was, and whoever else, Ali was. They all were. And the thing is, what happens after you come out of the house, everyone's like, okay, bro, it was just a game. It was just a game. But on some level, you do feel a little hurt by it. And Baki sab, I guess, KB was more hurt because Prince is somebody that he looks up to and he is friends with. We are friends with Prince and Yuvika, and we do like them. So that's why you think you're my friend. You're supposed to stand up for me. You're supposed to tell everybody, hey, cut it out, Chalo, wo gaya, let's focus on the game. I think that's why, because it came from somebody that KB actually considers close. Baki sab, they're not close to KB. Munawar, he made a friend in the show. Actually, even like Ali, we don't know. Maybe we know him from industry. If we saw him, we would say hi. But you know what? If you don't, if you're a good person and you can help someone become better, then you have to do that, don't you? You have to be on everybody's team in life. You can't be divided.
So Karanvir has made 2 friends in the show, Payal and Azma, right?
Yeah, and he's made a few friends in the show, Payal and Azma, and him and Munawar were very close at the beginning of the show. But then when he came back, when he's playing on the opposite team, that's because he was actually supposed to play on the opposite team, because him and Munawar were very strong together and they were winning every task. So when he came back, it's like, okay, now you were actually supposed to go on the other team. So he did. But him and Munawar met each other very warmly at the party. And they had this thing, like in the beginning of the show, they would do this, like this. And that would mean that either you or me are going to be together and we're going to raise a trophy together, which they did. And they met it was so sweet, at the Lock Up party. They met and they did that. And they said,
I was asking you in the middle. So yeah. So thank you. Thank you. So thank you, Teejay. Thank you so much for this lovely conversation, and hope to see you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
For sure.